Hey everybody, welcome. So today I want to get into the story of this art piece. This is called The Journey with the Octopus Queen, and it is a symbolic documentation of an ayahuasca ceremony that I had. The first and only time that I've done ayahuasca. And for those of you who do not know, ayahuasca is a ceremonial plant medicine that is found in the rainforests, I think mostly of South America, possibly Central America as well. It is a combination between a bark and a vine. You put these two plants together in this special brew, and it causes you to go into this realm of spirits and visions, of archetypes and sacred symbols, and it is quite an adventure. So I went into this experience with the intention of discovering the next step for me, specifically the next step in my artistic evolution. But I found it was a description not only of that, but also of my next step as a soul, as a spirit on this earth, where to go from here. So this is a documentation of what I learned there. And you'll find in the center at 12 o'clock is this owl figure with the phoenix coming out of the center of his head, and this the fires of transformation coming from within him. We're going to get back to that. I just wanted to start by saying that is me, that is my perspective, looking out from the perspective of the phoenix and the owl. The owl being the eagle of the night. And owl isn't a spirit animal that I feel like I normally have, but I think the reason it may be connected here is that it's kind of like this concept of night vision. Because for the most part, traditionally you do ayahuasca medicine in the nighttime, and it lights up the night for you in this very interesting way. So you see with a lot of ayahuasca paintings, this one included, that you'll kind of find a sort of bright rainbow colored symbolic composition set on top of this black starlit background, because you are seeing these colors come out of the night. So that's me at 12 o'clock. As you go around the clock, you'll see my experiences as I found them, at least to the best of my ability to recall them. So in the top right, we have the Octopus Queen. The shaman appeared to me in the form of an octopus queen. And what she's doing is she's handling the energy of everybody in the room, all of the other pilgrims. There were, I believe, 17 other people having this experience all in a room. And she was managing all of that energy. And I could see her doing it by sending light beams of healing energy out of her tentacles to the people who were going through their experiences. She also had her magical healing implements in her hands, in her tentacles, such as the eagle feather, the crystal gazing ball, the ayahuasca medicine, which you'll see down below, that little tentacle popping out. She's holding an infinite love heart in one of her tentacles, and the moon is there. She's kind of presenting this mandala, which in my vision was actually a sacred geometric lantern. So this sacred geometric lantern was suspended from light beams that she's holding with her tentacles. And as she's holding it up, I can see it rotating, morphing, changing forms, presenting to me these forms of the Platonic solids structured using sacred geometry. So the message that I got from this was, hey, look at this, pay attention to this, this is important, this is important. And especially when asking about my current and future artistic pathways, the fact that she was holding this lantern was very important to me and continues to be. So you can see she's kind of standing in this mountainous landscape, and also presenting perhaps underneath her this snake eating its own tail, which is the Ouroboros snake, which within the circle of that snake, or the semicircle of that snake, we see the lemniscate, or the infinity symbol 2 times linked together. And the Ouroboros snake itself is a symbol of infinity. It's very, very little, literally the completion of an entire cycle. Life creating death, creating life, creating death. So the shaman, the octopus queen, was presenting this concept to me, in a sense, through these many journeys through the cycles of ancestral lineages, which I was able to see before my eyes. So as you go down, you can also see she has the earth in one of her tentacles. So she's kind of like this presence that is larger than the moon and the earth, and is just very expansive in her scale. So as you go down below that, you'll see there is an octopus princess. The octopus princess was my partner at the time, and you can see in that area of the painting the karmic relationship that we were in at that moment. You'll see a narwhal and a hummingbird kissing right on the edge of the infinite love mandala, and that's me, the narwhal, and she's the hummingbird, and playing out this type of role of these star-crossed lovers who deeply love and care about one another, but whose pathways do not seem to be in alignment. So we had this experience of coming together and pushing each other away, and coming together and pushing each other away. Not able to fully line up our missions, get our missions in alignment. You can see also that she is holding some various magical implements in her tentacles. One specifically and most importantly is a wedding ring. She wasn't saying this out loud, but I felt that it was implied that she wanted to know, like, hey, are you willing and able to commit to me, to commit to marrying me and raising a family together, or are you simply going to run away and hurt my heart and break my heart and hurt my feelings? So she's presenting me with that ring, and you'll see next to that, to the left, there's this other lifetime that I was living, which was that of a mountain adventurer. It's a skier and a mountain biker climbing up and skiing down the big mountains of Colorado. And so I had come from Colorado to this place where she lived in Austin, Texas, which you can see is presented underneath one of her tentacles. So there's this kind of like binary option choice that I had to make, that I knew was coming up, and she knew was coming up, and she knew that my soul was in Colorado, and that's where I wanted to be. And I knew that she knew that, and we were both just, as I said, deeply loving and caring for each other. So it was this situation that wasn't going to be easy whichever way that we went. And so that was a big part of my psychedelic experience, was reflecting on that situation and seeing that, okay, if I'm going to be here, if I'm going to stay here, I need to be able to give myself to her completely, to commit to her fully. And if not, I need to stop playing games and to bring an end to this. So that was the option that I was very clearly shown by this experience. Moving further around the clock, you will see we're getting into the honeycomb and the bees. A lot of this trip was very serious and very intense, transformative in many ways. But there was a moment where it became really light, and this moment was when she brought us into the hive with the bees. The octopus queen, the shaman, began singing this song that was very playful and light, and that kind of bee buzzy feeling, and we went right into the hive, into the honey, in there with the bees. And you can see also, as you pass around this circle, you can see the mandala at the edges of the petals has these little circles, which are little windows into moments of my lifetime. So as you move past the octopus princess and then the skier and the mountain biker, you'll come to the question that I asked, which was about my career. How can I make a living as an artist, and what type of art am I to create? And so it showed me these two options. And the first that you'll see are these dollar signs hung out to dry. And the second one you'll see are these golden pyramids. These two are very much linked together. They're on the one hand the chasing of ethereal material wealth, the chasing of dollar signs without any true substance, without providing a deep amount of service or value to the world. So in a sense, the concept of chasing money without doing something that's fulfilling to your spirit. And on the other side, or next to it, you will see the pyramids. And these pyramids are golden pyramids representing long-lasting true wealth. So it's wealth that is of a solid structure, and it's that which comes with doing work that is in service of the highest good and that is in alignment with your spirit. So that's the type of structure that you can build by doing that work over the course of a long period of time, which was the lesson that I was being given. So as you move to the left of those pyramids, you'll see another Ouroboros snake, this time a green one. And within that snake, you'll see a desert scene. So there's a sidewinder snake, which, according to one of the spirit animal ritual dances that I've done, is my elder self. The sidewinder snake moving across the desert. And surprisingly, although perhaps not that surprisingly, this snake is one of the animals that I really deeply feared, especially when I was a younger person. And in a sense, I believe it is connected to my fear of growing older, which especially I had as a younger person. I didn't want to be old because all of the fun things that I like to do involved being in a young, agile body. So this momentum is slowly changing, and I'm seeing how actually I'm embracing the concept of becoming old, and perhaps in a sense embracing that concept of becoming this sidewinder snake. So I haven't gotten too deeply into the medicine of that yet. We'll see where that goes. Below the snake, you'll see a cactus. And for a long time during this trip, I was feeling these desert landscapes. I was in the southwestern United States, and I feel like the landscape, the history, and the ancestral roots of the land where you take the medicine will be very much infused into your experience of the medicine. And this is true with many different psychedelics, but I would say in particular ayahuasca. So I was connected with that land and those ancestors, and I was seeing many lessons in the desert, like projected onto a desert landscape. And many of these lessons were being presented to me in the form of cacti. And I asked during this time, because you can ask the medicine questions and it'll give you fairly direct or sometimes very indirect answers to your questions, but you will always get the answers. So I asked the medicine, hey, this is amazing, all these lessons that you're showing me, but why are they being shown to me simply in the form of cacti? And the voice came back to me quickly and directly and said this: don't worry about it. That's how we roll. And as it finished the word roll, it was like kind of like this roller coaster spiraling back into the psychedelic experience, with this moment of clarity and then this moment of upside down, topsy-turvy confusion. So then to the left of that, you'll see the Dharma wheel, or at least half of the Dharma wheel. The rest of it is suggested. And within that or beyond that or next to that, you will see the narwhal in the Arctic landscape. And this is another reflection of myself. There's The narwhal spirit is that of exploring the depths, and exploring the magic and the mystery and the unknown, that which lies beneath the surface. Because the narwhal is one of the deepest diving whales, and they do so in the Arctic. So it is thousands of feet below the Arctic ice sheets, where they are exploring to find their treasure, to find their food, to find that which nourishes them. So there's that metaphor, and there's also the concept that you must remember that you are a mammal. You have to come up and breathe the air. The other thing about the narwhal is the metaphor of the nourishment of the people, medicine for the people. The Inuit people live off of the narwhal almost entirely. They get all the vitamins and minerals that they need from the narwhal, from hunting the narwhal. So the nourishment of the people. And the reason why that's next to the Dharma wheel is it's a representation of one expression of this incarnation that I'm existing in currently. Alright, as we move to the right of that, also along the same horizon line, we see a great blue heron. And this is another connection with the concept of self-reflection. One of the other pilgrims sang a song at one point during the ceremony. And as soon as he started singing, I was transported to this landscape. A lake or a marshland, a body of water that was extremely still, had this great blue heron flying just only feet or inches above the water, with its reflection perfectly expressed on the still surface of the lake. Above that you'll see the moon, the crescent moon, and within it a flower, a lotus flower. And this symbolizes the connection to the divine feminine, the sacred feminine energy. Above that, you'll see a gun, a small gun within the circle, and then two big guns going up into the sky, and as well as that, a skull on the handle of one of those guns. And this was to represent the terror and the trial that I experienced during this journey. It was, for a moment, for a time, like going through a reoccurring nightmare over and over and over and over again. As the drums were playing, I was witnessing the mistreatment of my people, and specifically the women of our people being mistreated over and over and over again. These cycles of violence, largely perpetrated by men towards women, over and over and over again. And I was seeing this with tears in my eyes and my hands tied behind my back, literally helpless. Nothing I could do about this cyclical violence. So I was terrified, and I was freaking out, and I was yelling and screaming. And I didn't want to fight. I remember specifically saying the words, "I'm a Libra. Don't make me fight. I don't want to fight." Which is kind of silly, kind of true. I know there are some Libras who know how to fight and are into that, but personally, it's not my pathway. Although I found part of the lesson of this journey is that it is. I think this is a time and a place in history where it's very important for all of us to stand up and fight for what we believe in. And this doesn't need to be physical fighting. There are many different ways to fight back, and this is specifically what I was taught by this lesson, because I was seeing these cycles happen over and over again, and I realized that I didn't know how to fight, and it was too big of a monster for me to fight against. But I did know how to transform into a phoenix. And so I decided that was the only thing that I could do, which was to light on fire and to incinerate these forces of evil. And so that's exactly what I did, and I just started flapping my wings and breathing this breath of fire, and essentially transforming this struggle and this evil through this fire and through the projection of love from the center, from the heart center, understanding that love in the end is a force that is greater than all of the evil and all of the fear. And it is a constant reminder for us to come back to over and over again when we're facing the fear, the evil, when we're facing the dragons of the world, is to come back to this understanding that at our very nature, at our true center, we are infinite awareness experiencing existence through the perspective of the human body. We are infinitely loved and taken care of forever. We have nothing to fear. So in the center of the center, and the wheel around which all of this story is turning, is this mandala of love. So each petal has an infinite love heart, and it goes round and round in this fashion, and from the outside to the center, from the center radiating outwards. And in the center, once again, is the infinite love heart. Love within love within love within love. So from the center, radiating outward, infinite love forever. So that's the lesson of this art piece, A Journey with the Octopus Queen. There are many other stories to the different pieces, the different paintings that I've made, so I'm resolving to really curate this collection, put them onto my YouTube channel and various other channels so that I can share these stories, because especially recently, like when I do festivals and live painting, I find myself telling these stories over and over and over again, and I love to do it, and I intend to make it scalable, so I'll be able to share these stories with more and more people. So if this resonates with you, I invite you to share it with a friend, share it on your social media, by any means necessary. If it resonates with you, I appreciate you spreading this word of infinite love forever. If you're interested in this artwork or any other artworks that I've created, please head on over, check out my website. I have a ton of cool stuff there. And if you like something in a similar style as this, but you don't find it there, feel free to contact me. I do commissions if they're in alignment with the type of style and the type of symbols and archetypes that I choose to work with. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching this. Again, if you appreciate this, give it a like, a comment, subscribe to my channel. It really makes a difference in terms of how many people I can reach, and also in terms of being able to reach you. So peace, love, thank you. I'll see you soon, everybody.